Hello and welcome to the 14th episode of the Addiction Free Naturally podcast. My name is Graeme Hoppitt, and today we're going to talk about how to quit addiction using hypnotherapy. Now, I want to say right at the outset, this is obviously only one of many methods that you could use, but it is, however, something that I'm very passionate about. So today, I'm going to tell you about my love of hypnosis and how I believe that you can use this to overcome addiction pretty rapidly, actually. So I'm going to talk to you about hypnosis, exactly what it is, and how you can use it in your recovery. So let me just start by saying I was actually trained and qualified as an RTT, rapid transformational hypnotherapist, with the award-winning celebrity therapist, Marissa Peer. I mean, she has won so many awards, including Top Doctor in the UK. So that shows her level of expertise. Hypnosis has literally been proven, by numerous studies over the literally decades. And all those studies have really concluded that hypnosis is one of the best possible treatments for a host of ailments. Hypnosis will literally enable you to sort of like move towards something which is called moving towards pleasure or moving away from pain. So that could be creating new habits, such as being more confident. Maybe an example is being a better public speaker, or even starting your public speaking sort of endeavors. Or it could be breaking old habits, maybe overcoming the awkwardness of social anxiety, or, as we're all here today talking about addiction, it could be about quitting addiction. And now that could be whether it's a substance such as drugs or drink, or any behaviors, whether that's porn, gambling, shopping, or anything. So hypnosis really can help anything. And for those non-addicts here, I mean, just to give you a few other examples, I mean, hypnosis is frequently used to overcome things such as insomnia, anxiety, infertility, IBS, helps with depression, sexual issues, blood pressure, and the big one, obviously, losing weight. So anything that you want to change in your life, then hypnosis or hypnotherapy, as the process is called, is absolutely worth investigating. Now, let me just get rid of a couple of myths about addiction right at the outset. First of all, you can't get stuck in hypnosis. Hypnosis is literally just a very relaxed state. It's often called a trance state. And unfortunately, various films, often Hollywood movies, have really portrayed hypnosis as something that you could get stuck in. And I have to tell you, that's absolute rubbish. You cannot get stuck in hypnosis. You can literally just get up at any time by opening your eyes. So just open your eyes and get up. So you absolutely cannot be stuck. So please don't worry about that. No one anywhere has ever got stuck in hypnosis. The second myth I want to bust is you cannot be hypnotized to do something that you don't want to do. All hypnosis is actually self-hypnosis. You're just being put into a relaxed state, and you are picking up on things, suggestions where you want to do something differently yourself. So there's no way that you can ever be made to do anything against your will. Every day, literally thousands of people are using hypnosis around the world to change their lives. I mean, hundreds of celebrities have actually spoken about it publicly. People such as Oprah, Samuel L. Jackson, Ben Affleck, Alistair DeGeneres, David Beckham. I mean, literally, they have used hypnosis to dramatically improve their lives. Stuttering now, I've got a bad cough today, so I do apologise. To improve their lives and increase their wealth. I mean, even the royal family have been involved and have used hypnosis. I mean, Kate Middleton, Prince Harry, Duchess of York, they've each claimed that hypnosis is a sort of secret weapon in their life. And even the late Princess of Wales, Princess Di, also use hypnosis. So it's been used by royalty around the world. Now, Matt Damon, who was the actor in the Bourne trilogy of films, actually it might even be more than a trilogy now, isn't it? I can't remember. But he made a declaration on American TV, and he made it live, and it was the greatest decision I've ever made in my life, hypnosis. So there's loads of qualifications made by celebrities as well as normal people like you and I. And I mean, I cannot recommend it highly enough. Now let's get stuck into how hypnosis actually works. And it works by slowing down your mind. And there's actually 5 different brainwave states. And hypnosis works at the alpha state. Now, in an everyday situation, when you're fully alert, you're in what's called beta brainwave. And beta brainwaves are high frequency brainwaves. They're involved in your logical thinking, your conscious thought, as well as general focus. So beta brainwaves are effectively prevalent through most of your active day. Now, there's going to be times, however, in your day when actually you drop down, you slow down into a state called alpha. Your brain is more open at this stage. And what that means is your subconscious mind is more open to being programmed, and which is why hypnosis is so powerful in this state. And it literally is just slowing down the mind. And you can do this naturally. And effectively, you could do this while you're driving. I mean, I'm sure you've got to a destination while you're driving sometimes, and you've actually looked back and thought, how did I get here? And that is because you're in that alpha brainwave state, that your subconscious mind is literally just taking over, you're absorbed in what you're doing, and you get to your destination. Another example is reading a book that you're really enjoying. But there are literally endless situations that can allow you to drop into alpha during the day. Now, there are 2 big differences, however, between the times when you'd float down into an alpha state naturally during the day, and when a professional hypnotherapist like myself would put you into hypnosis. And these are the 2 main differences. The first one is when a hypnotherapist, such as myself, causes you to go into this alpha brainwave state by using certain words. We're directing you in that sense. And that's a big difference between just dropping down naturally. So that's one of the main differences. The second one is when a professional hypnotherapist, such as myself, is helping you to change. So it's like when we are really using specific language to enable you to change and make a significant impact on your life. So the benefit, therefore, of having hypnotherapy is it enables you to make change at a subconscious level. And literally, you can create massive positive change in your life. Back in podcast 3, I think it was, when I spoke about the be, do, have, we talked about the 2 parts of the mind, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Now, the conscious mind is responsible for your rational thinking, your day-to-day thinking. Literally, all the decisions you're making in the day are coming from your conscious mind. The other 95% is the subconscious mind, and it's responsible for your imagination, your creativity. It also houses all your memories, your experiences, and all your beliefs and values. Now, we often forget how powerful a role the subconscious plays, because literally your body is being kept going 24/7 because of the subconscious mind. It's literally running your breathing, your heart rate, everything like that. So how come, therefore, the subconscious mind is more powerful than the conscious mind? I mean, that's a really great question, isn't it? Because if the conscious mind is responsible for making decisions all day, every day, and utilizing your rationality and your logic, then how come the subconscious mind is more powerful? Well, in essence, the conscious mind is really like a guardian or a gatekeeper. It's stopping, or at least a filter for things going into your subconscious mind. But when you allow them in, an example might be the news, then you are literally programming your subconscious mind. And this is how it happens. Literally, your thoughts in your conscious mind will flow from your conscious mind into your subconscious mind. And therefore, that is what is creating your reality. So it is what is in your subconscious mind, which is your reality. And as a child growing up, 20 years of around, well, from birth to around 7 or 8 years old, we're literally being programmed. We're like sponges, we're absorbing everything. So if your primary caregiver was constantly telling you you're a bad boy or girl, then at the subconscious level, you're taking that on. You know, I'm a bad boy or I'm a bad girl. And then this belief is what's created in your reality. So you grow up literally believing you're that bad girl or bad boy. So we're literally being hypnotized in childhood. And these accumulated foundational experiences and beliefs literally are the method by which we later on interact with the world. And a classic is like religion. If you've grown up in, say, a Catholic family, you're growing up as a Catholic. You wouldn't automatically think, well, I need to be a Christian. You're a Catholic. So it's like, that's what you know, and you're being indoctrinated, or you're growing up as a Muslim. You don't know the difference until you're at sort of the stage where you can start debating it as a teenager. But your basic beliefs have been ingrained into you. So this is where potentially damaging, incorrect information really has been drummed into us by our primary caregivers. Now, all our parents, our primary caregivers, including mine, have done the best job they can. Indeed, exactly as I've done the best I can with my children, because we don't know any better at the time. But as children, we're literally watching, we're hearing, you know, we're observing everything that our primary caregivers are doing. And therefore, we're picking up everything from our primary caregivers, their beliefs, their values, their behaviors. And that's why we can become so much like them, and why we can like hold their beliefs around, say, money, poverty, wealth, whatever. And money is a classic one. So you'll often find that if you come from a poor family, it's hard to break away from that. Whereas if you've come from a rich family, you've probably been ingrained with very wealth conscious, positive beliefs. Now, what we have to do is we have to learn how our conscious mind works versus our subconscious mind. And the reason you're still stuck is because you've whatever you've done so far hasn't fixed the root cause issue. And the root cause issue is what's dug deep into your subconscious mind. So what is the root cause of your issue? What is the root cause of, say, your addiction? Because you're likely here because this is an addiction podcast. So what do you think is the root cause? And the root cause, I can tell you, is going to be as a result of deep beliefs and destructive patterns which are laying within your subconscious mind. Now, they're not going to be likely what you think they're going to be. Addiction itself is just a symptom. The real cause is going to be hidden away. I certainly wasn't aware what was the root cause of my addiction until much later when I started to have therapy. And the root cause is often referred to as your core emotional wounds. And it's that wound, that emotional deep wound, which is actually what we're hiding away from. And we're using addiction, whether that's substance or behaviors, to really numb the pain. It's like a form of medication. We're medicating ourselves against the pain by using our addiction. And most, if not all, started in childhood. And let me use this as an example of how the root cause can maybe not look like what you expect. Now, in this, the problem is a back pain. The person's got a back pain, and they may go and try different things such as injections and acupuncture, physiotherapy, chiropractor, which are all fantastic therapies, obviously, if you've got a bad back. But what happens is this person has actually got one leg shorter than the other. That's actually the root cause. That's why they got this back pain, but it wasn't obvious to start with. And another professional looks at it and they notice, well, you need to have a heel lift, because by having a heel lift, it makes your two leg lengths the same, and then the problem is resolved. But it maybe isn't obvious in exactly the same way that our mental issues, whether that's confidence, anxiety, or addiction, is hidden away because our emotions and how we perceive the world are shaped at a very young age, as we've mentioned. And all of us, even if we are raised in, a loving family, have experienced some level of trauma. This is the reality. And that trauma has shaped the way that we see the world. Now, you may be thinking to yourself right now, well, I've never had any real traumatic experiences. And I was certainly the same. I had no near-death experiences. I wasn't physically abused or anything like that. So how could my emotions be holding me back? But trauma is in the eye of the beholder. The fact is, anytime a child suffers a loss of trust or love, they feel love maybe is being withheld from them, or they lose a connection in which they no longer feel safe, they're experiencing some form of emotional trauma. That could be, and most likely, the smallest things happen, but because they were said to you by a primary caregiver or even a person of authority of trust, you've actually taken it really to heart, and it's like buried deep in your subconscious, almost at a cellular level in your body, and that's what's had such a profound effect on your life. I mean, one experience or one client experience which always comes to mind for me, it was when I was dealing with a porn addict. At the age of 4, he kissed a girl at nursery and his teacher shouted at him. And, if you or I saw a picture of 2 4-year-olds kissing on Facebook, we'd say, wow, that's so cute. We'd all love it, big smile on our faces. But because this poor boy was shouted at the age of 4, he took that on board as a 4-year-old that he was being wrong. It was wrong. It was a bad thing to do. And that impacted his ability to build meaningful relationships. So he turned to porn at a very early age, and that inflicted his life for about 15 years. So we never know the root cause. And that's what this metaphor of the heel lift shows us, because it's not always obvious. So unless we get to the root cause of an issue and solve it, you're never going to be able to achieve your desired outcome in life. Never. And, that's irrespective of whether we're talking about addiction or any other area of your life. Weight loss. There's something holding you back. Now, if we think of ourselves as a tree, we've got these blooms on the top, but the roots where all the challenges lie, and we have to really dig deep. You can prune the tree, the thoughts at the top end, but the power is in the roots. By just pruning the tree, that's like using willpower, but willpower is a finite resource, and we know that it runs out. And that's exactly why you see people going into rehab, apparently being fixed. I'm using the word fixed, not that people are broken, but you go into rehab thinking you're fixed, you come out, and then you're going back to your old triggers, and that's why people relapse, and it's a back and forth because they haven't dealt with the true root cause. So the power of hypnosis is to get to the root cause. So you might be wanting to quit, maybe it's gambling or sex or drugs, but you keep relapsing time and time again. So even though we know there's chemical hooks, there's an impact on brain chemistry, what we really need to address though is the root core issue, which is buried deep in our subconscious mind. And those root core issues, and these are just examples, so don't think, well, that's not me. These are just examples. Often children grow up feeling they're not loved, or they didn't feel like they're good enough, they're not enough, they don't matter. Or maybe a teacher has told them they're worthless, you never amount to much. Or maybe you've been bullied by siblings or bullied at school. So the root cause issue could be anything. We just don't know. That's a problem. And it's not, more often than not, it's hidden so deep in your subconscious mind, you don't know what it is. I certainly didn't know my reasons, my root cause issue. All I knew is that, well, I'm an addict and I can't somehow stop this. But I didn't know why until I actually went into therapy and got some help. And obviously now that's what I now do for other people. But when you then start to resolve those issues, the root core issues, you start to resolve them by using something like hypnotherapy. And as I said, it's not the only method, but we're talking about hypnotherapy here. When you resolve it, so then you start to feel maybe you're more than enough and you do matter and you've got good self-confidence, good self-worth, you've got a healthy, high self-esteem, then that starts to reflect in your outside world. So then you feel more committed. You're now 100% committed to taking action in your recovery. You're 100% responsible. You start following a plan. You start loving yourself. And before you know it, your addiction starts to dissolve. But that's all done by working at the subconscious level. And that is the power of hypnotherapy. So addiction is just a symptom. It's not the root cause issue. And that's why you need to go into your subconscious mind by some method, down into theta, and start actually dealing with the issue. So these are the steps of a typical hypnosis session, or certainly one with me. The first step is relaxation. It is literally just to get you in that relaxed state. You're not actually sleeping. Some people say it feels like sleep. It's not sleeping. It's more like a sleep of the nervous system, but you're very relaxed. But you're not unconscious. You're still very much conscious. You are in control. You could get up and walk away at any stage. So you're not trapped in any way, but that's the first stage. It's to get you into a relaxed stage. The second stage is what I call discovery. This is where we're really digging deep, we're dialoguing with the subconscious mind, asking a series of questions specific to what your issue is. So it's very personal, it's not generic, it's specific to you. So we're asking questions related to your issue, trying to get to the root cause issue. And more often than not, as I've mentioned before, this is not something you will know consciously. It might be, and we're just confirming it, and then we're going to go on and resolve it. But the chances are it's going to be something you just don't know. You think you've got addiction, you don't know why, but the cause could be the fact you just was never loved as a child, and then it comes out 30 years later or whatever, whenever it comes out. So that's the second stage, discovery. It's dialoguing with your subconscious mind, which knows all the answers. The third stage is to resolve. It's like the heel lift, effectively, for your invisible barriers, and it's to uncover the emotional viruses that are buried in your subconscious mind, and we then go about resolving them, so you can then start dissolving the addiction or dissolving any other issue you have. So step 3 is all about resolving what we have found in the discovery stage. And then stage 4 is about transforming, so you can become that beautiful butterfly, effectively. Now, this is where the hypnotherapists, such as myself, would help you literally reprogram your subconscious mind. This is where we're instilling new programs, instilling that belief that you are now an ex-addict rather than an active addict. It's where we'd instill higher confidence, a higher self-worth, a higher self-esteem. So we're really building you up, so you're really who you want to be on the other side. So this is your vision. This is where we're taking you to where you want to be, and we're using positive, empowering words within that transformation. And then the 5th stage is reinforcing, because this is all about repetition. I mean, as Dr. Bruce Lipton says, you can sort anything out in your life with hypnosis, but you have to do it there has to be some repetition, and the repetition is done by where I give my clients a recording. So I've effectively resolved the issue in step 4, but then in step 5, you go away and you listen to a recording for about typically 30 days. And what my clients often come back and tell me is, if they ever get in the future, they may listen to the recording again, because it leaves them in a very good feel-good state, and it hands down beats going to meetings. So it's like, you don't need to listen to the recording forever, but if ever you're having a trigger, you could always just listen to the recording. So they are the 5 typical stages of a hypnotherapy session with myself. Very powerful. Now, I normally wrap it up within a coaching support, so I never leave my clients to sort of try and do anything on their own, but you've got all the backup. But they are the powerful 5 steps which can literally change your life. Now, we know that we have to change at the subconscious level. Yeah, that's where the powerhouse is. That's where your beliefs are. That's where all your beliefs about addiction are stored. So we have to change at the subconscious level. And we now know that hypnosis is the gateway to a subconscious mind, because it's taken us down to that alpha wave state where we can really reprogram and make the changes permanent. So you can start living a different way. You start becoming that ex-addict, and you reinforce it with the recording after the session. So we know all of that now. So we absolutely, hypnosis works, and it's proven with scientific studies literally over decades. And that's why after I recovered, that's why I invested significantly in my own education, my own training to become a hypnotherapist, because it absolutely works. It gets incredible results, not just for addiction, but for any area of your life. And I just wanted to remind you that, what Matt Damon said on live American TV, it was the greatest decision I ever made in my life. And it can be the greatest decision that you made, not just for your recovery out of addiction, but to help you in all areas of your life. Remember what Maxwell Maltz says: you can never outperform your own self-image. And that's why it's essential to go in and work at the subconscious level, because that is where your self-image is held. And by using hypnosis, you can change those old beliefs that have kept you stuck in addiction and literally transform your life. And you can build a new life away from addiction using hypnosis. I cannot recommend it highly enough. Obviously, I'm biased. I said that at the outset. This is just one method that you could use to overcome addiction. But what I love about it, it is so effective, and there's so much evidence, scientific evidence supporting it. And that's why I would urge you to look closely at hypnosis as a way of overcoming any addiction in your life, whether we're talking about substances or behaviors. Now, if you need any help to do this on a one-to-one basis, or you want a hypnotherapy session or a hypnotherapy and coaching, then please reach out. My name is Graeme Hoppitt. You can get me at graeme@graemehoppitt.com. There are more than one way to overcome addiction. As I said at the outset, we're just exploring one method here. I'm exploring the method that has got me such great results. But in other podcast episodes, we're going to discuss other methods, and I'm going to also have other guests in from other disciplines. But hypnosis, hypnotherapy is definitely a powerful method to overcome addiction. So I hope this has been valuable for you. Just remember, you only need to get the answers from your subconscious mind to clear up that root cause, the real root cause, and you can be free of addiction, and you can do it so easily and so quickly. So I urge you to take the steps you need to clear your addiction. I overcome addiction naturally, and so can you. So reach out if I can help you. Please share these podcasts with other people. Please go back and look at the previous podcast episodes, because there's so much valuable information in there to help you not only stop addiction, but most important, to remain addiction free. Excuse my croaky voice and cough today. Have a great day wherever you are in the world, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next episode.